Protest love. The case of Mr. Caudatur human citizenship.
The court is now in session, to hear the case of Mr. Caudatur, the defense lawyer, attorney human.
Your Honor, I represent Mr. Caudatur. You see, my client is so much in love with his girlfriend that he wanted to marry her, but the human law forbid him from doing so. Thus I move that Mr. Caudatur be granted citizenship.
I object, Your Honor.
Objection sustained.
Your Honor, he must be part of a society, community, or organization.
Your Honor, my client is a registered in genus Your Honor, under the order of Hymenestomatida, who's classmate with Miss Celia in the peaceful phylum Landia of Protozoa.
I object, Your Honor. Mr. Caudatur can't be human. How can he even feed a family when he himself can't even eat, just like us human?
Your Honor, my client can eat too. He actually spent most of his life feeding and decaying organic matters from stagnant waters.
It's impossible, Your Honor.
He doesn't even have a mouth to eat. It's just a heartache for the lady he loves if he dies of malnutrition. Your Honor, I plead you, never believe this liar.
Or he may die from overfeeding.
Order in the court.
Your Honor, it's true that my client doesn't have mouth like us human, but it is oral growth that helps him feed. And no, he will not die of overfeeding. The enzyme and hydrochloric acid present in his food vacuole helps him digest food. For as long as there is filthy water, where humans irresponsibly throw away garbage, my client will survive.
What if during emergency he doesn't have feet to run? He will die for sure.
My client may not have feet, but it is Celia for moving forward, backward and around.
But Your Honor, it is just too small to be seen by naked eye. Granting him citizenship will make us potential killers in the future. It is just too small to be seen.
I admit, Your Honor, my client must have been mistaken last night as Slipper. That man must have enjoyed the elastic gelatinous pellicles of my client. But you know, he can grow as long as a 350 micrometer, simply visible to your naked eye.
Given that Mr. Caudatur is granted citizenship and marry his girlfriend, but can he multiply just like us human?
Your Honor, my client can also sexually multiply like us. Here's the video of him and his ex-girlfriend conjugating last summer. But sad to say, she just passed away.
Oh, we're sorry for your loss.
I object, Your Honor. I just can't believe that Mr. Caudatur can feel love. Love is just for human who can learn. However, Mr. Caudatur cannot learn.
Your Honor, my client can learn too. Here's his photo last summer vacation in Passaic River. He has just recently learned the difference between light and darkness.
But Your Honor, being human is not just simply knowing light from darkness. It's our ability to feel differences in temperature, pH level and water concentration, which I believe your client has no ability to feel.
Your Honor, my client can live in an environment temperature from 23 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. Pretty close to our normal body temperature, And my client loves acidic places from 4.7 to 9.7 pH level. Oh. Reminds me of dried mangoes in Cebu. Oxygen consumption, you say? Oh. Well, Mr. Caudatur is not so fond of oxygen as the temperature gets hot to 20 degrees Celsius.
Should your client be granted with citizenship, how can he provide for his family? We human work for our living.
Your Honor, my client is currently employed in the Department of Water Preservations. His sensitivity to insecticides and salinity in bodies of water earns him big fortune.
Your Honor, with all the arguments laid upon you in which Mr. Caudatur have sufficiently replied, still I say to you, and the rest of the court audience, that Mr. Caudatur can't be granted citizenship. He was not mentioned in the Genesis of the Bible. According to theory of spontaneous generation, organisms like tiny worms arise from non-living things.
I object, Your Honor. Louis Pasteur, in his theory of biogenesis, believed that life comes from other life. It is not also true that Mr. Caudatur was not mentioned in the Bible. According to the Bible, on the sixth day, God created creeping things, land animals and humans. trichonympha, living in the stomach of the first ever termites, were my ancestors, born on the 6th day of creation.
How many cells does your client have?
He is a single-celled protista, Your Honor.
With all the arguments laid upon me, I declare that Mr. Caudatur is denied of citizenship for being a single-celled protista. Case dismissed.